morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Today, let's take a look at, one of the government organs, and here I'm talking about the Code of Conduct Bureau. It doesn't usually get much press, and maybe I'll be finding out why that is and what the Code of Conduct Bureau is all about. The chairman is Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello, and he arrived in office in October, just in October here. So the first thing to say is congratulations, Dr. Bello.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
All right then. So to sort of quote-unquote demystify the Code of Conduct Bureau, I mean, the Code of Conduct, it immediately says that, when you talk about conduct, I'm sure it's all about morality and high standards. So what would you see as the principal organ? We know that it is in some form an anti-corruption agency, but maybe you could take it from there, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Code of Conduct is an anti-corruption agency, like you mentioned. It's the pioneer anti-corruption agency in Nigeria. It's responsible for ensuring highest standard of ethics in public service. That's what Code of Conduct is all about. It's trying to make sure that public servants are adhering to the highest standard of ethics. Some of the key functions of the Bureau is about asset declaration, Code of Conduct enforcement, and investigation, prosecution, and public awareness. So when we talk about asset declaration, public servants are supposed to declare their assets every 4 years, and then apart from that, if you are elected, you are supposed to declare asset at the beginning of your term and also at the end of your term. And then apart from that, we, the Code of Conduct, we look at the declarations. First, we verify the declarations to make sure that they are accurate, and then you are truthful in your declaration. And we then check and see if there is any increase in your declaration from the first time that you did it until to the end of the time that you did it. So if there is any increase that cannot be explained by our non-sources of income, then that's why you come in. We come in and ask you, how did you get money to acquire such properties that you have, such assets that you have? And then if we find out that you got them illegally, then we can take you to Code of Conduct Tribunal where we prosecute you for breach of Code of Conduct. That is as regard the asset declaration. Apart from that, like you mentioned again, we have so many other codes. We have abuse of office, we have conflict of interest, we have bribery, so many other codes that we have them, around 14 codes. So any breach of that code, again, we can investigate it at Code of Conduct Bureau and then send it to CCT for prosecution. So we have a department called Investigation and Intelligence Department. They are responsible for making sure that all cases that are sent to us are investigated. But like the name implies, we also have intelligence. It's not only about petitions. We can find out maybe if there is any intelligence on a public servant, then we can investigate it as well. Because most of the property you see in Nigeria
Okay then, Dr. Abdullahi.
You couldn't have been able to get that money.
He's back on air.
Yes.
Oh, please continue.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. So like I was saying, it's not only about petitions. We want to be proactive. One of the ways we can be proactive is by looking at your declarations from the beginning of the period and end of the period. If we see any increase that you cannot explain from your non-sources of income, then we can just go ahead and investigate you. Apart from that, again, we can receive intelligence reports from individuals, from organizations. Once you see a public servant, for example, that has assets, before he became a public servant, he doesn't have those assets, and all of a sudden, the person is having hundreds and hundreds of millions of properties and assets, then you can send that report to us. And then we'll look at his asset declaration, we look at his income, and then we see that he's living above his means. Then we can investigate that and then take it to Code of Conduct Tribunal for prosecution. That's the function of the Investigation and Intelligence Department. Apart from that, we also do prosecution, like I mentioned. CCT is there. It's a dedicated court for Code of Conduct cases. And that's one of the advantages we have over some other agencies, because that court is specifically designed to hear our cases. So that way we'll take our cases to them, and then they will be able to do it diligently. And then apart from that, again, we have public awareness and education. That's one of the key functions of the Bureau. You know, we need to enlighten people about the roles and responsibilities of code of conduct. We need to tell people their responsibilities as well. It's not only about the public servant, it's also about the public themselves. Because the essence of code of conduct is to ensure that public servants are serving you, the public. They are not serving themselves. So that's one of the key things that we do. We make sure that people are responsible, people are accountable, people are transparent. And one of the key things about code of conduct is about prevention. We are also majorly, that's what we do. If you look at other law enforcement agencies, for example, code of conduct is majorly about prevention. Because why? If you know that you are going to declare assets, and if you know that somebody is going to check whether what you have declared is right or wrong, then you might decide that you are not going to be corrupt after all. Because what is the benefit of you to go and acquire assets, and then you are not going to benefit from the proceeds of that crime? So that's one of the preventive measures of code of conduct.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello. Now, I want to ask perhaps a funny question. How difficult is the job of the CCB? Now, perhaps I just add a few words to explain that. Because of the nature of man, man is deceptive, man is cunning, can be clever. So nobody knowing all that you've just said, you know, people do get up to all sorts of devices so as to deflect attention. It is in that, from, you know, them. So it is in that context that I was wondering, how difficult is your job actually to do it thoroughly? Because there's not going to be cooperation from the side of the person that you're investigating who has put assets in the name of his daughter, in the name of his friend, and all of that. Okay.
Incidentally, the job is easy. Why do I say it's easy? Because what we do is that you are the one that is going to come and tell us that I have a flat or I have a house in Abuja. So after declaring the assets, then we go and check it and verify that you actually own that property. So the verification, we have physical verification to go and see whether the building or asset actually exists. We also have document verification to find out whether you are actually the owner of that property. So you are the one that is going to come and tell us that I have a house. And then again, at the end of your tenure, you are also going to come and declare to us that this property belongs to you or not. So what we are doing is that if you declare honestly and truthfully, then you don't have any problem with code of conduct. But if you fail to declare an asset, and then later we find out that that asset belongs to you, then we can charge you for false declaration, and we can charge you maybe for under declaration if you have declared below value over declaration. So you are the one that is going to come and bring the information to us, and then we verify it. So if you have not declared a property in Abuja, for example, and then we have intelligence that this property belongs to you, then we can take you to the Code of Conduct Tribunal for prosecution. So, and the onus is now on you as for you to prove that that property, that asset actually belongs to you. Unlike other law enforcement agencies where they have to prove that you have committed fraud or you have committed corruption. In Code of Conduct Bureau, the onus is now on you. The burden of proof has shifted from us, the law enforcement agencies, to you, the declarant. So you have to prove to us that actually that amount of money that you got is legitimate and that property actually belongs to you. That's why it's easy for us to prosecute cases of Code of Conduct cases. Apart from that, again, non-declaration is an offense. So if you have not declared, it's a matter of fact. You'll just ask your question. Have you declared? Yes, I've declared. You don't have an issue. Have you declared? No, I've not declared. It's a matter of fact. You don't have to go and do a complex investigation to find out whether you have declared or not. And if you are not declared, that also is an offense. And once we take you to Code of Conduct Tribunal, we can also prosecute you for that. So on the declaration, it's also an offense. And the fact is that, for example, you have a house. The house you declare is 8 million naira. But then anybody that sees that property at the face value is around 100 million or 200 million naira. That's when we have to investigate and maybe find a professional to go and cost it for us. So once we can establish that you have done on the declaration, it's also an offense. And again, you have a property because you are anticipating that you are going to go into government and they are going to steal money, so you have over-declaration. So in that case, again, we'll verify it. If you say it's 100 million, meanwhile it's just 7 million or 8 million, that one too is a fact that you'll be able to go and check. So all these things is easy for code of conduct to do. The only thing that we need to do is that we need to make sure that you have declared, and also make sure that we have verified your asset at the beginning of the period. And like I always tell people at Code of Conduct, we are not trying to victimize, or we are not trying to witch hunt public servant. We want them to do what is right. You are going to come and declare to us, and if you declare to us and we verify it, then we are not going to come after you at all until after 4 years, or maybe at the end of your tenure. So after 4 years, that is when you also going to go and declare asset. And after declaring asset, we also verify it at that time. So at that point, that is when we are going to look at the increase. If you cannot account for it from your non-sources of income, then we cause investigation into you. But if it can be explained, it's very easy for you to explain, okay, from your salary, you'll be able to get this asset or property, then we don't have to come after you again. Another reason why we can commence investigation into you is that if you receive petition, of course, even during your period, once there's petition against you, look at it and we investigate it. Or like I mentioned earlier on, if you receive intelligence against you. So that's another time that we are going to investigate you. But then there are some certain categories of public servants who we are very, we are very concerned about. They don't declare their assets. And they feel that declaring their assets is a problem to them, so they would rather not declare. So the message I'm going to tell those public servants is that if you have not declared your assets, then that alone is a ground for us to commence investigation into you. Like I said, if you have declared your asset, we are not going to come after you at all until after 4 years. Maybe we will compare if there is any difference. But if you have not declared your asset, then you are giving us enough reason for us to commence investigation into you. So that is one of the key messages I want to put out today, that by not declaring, you are putting yourself at risk of investigation. And now what we are doing at CCB is that we have created a unit called Financial Investigation and Forensic Accounting Department, a new unit, brand new unit. We interviewed people from the CCB, people that have a knowledge of accounting, finance, and then we have created that unit. We are going to equip them, we are going to resource them, we are going to train them, and then we are going to give them all the tools necessary for them to do the investigation. In addition to the investigation department that we have, this unit will also specifically look at cases of financial crimes that is happening with public servants. So we are ready now, and we will start immediately trying to do that.
Now, you limit yourself, do you, to public servants? And if so, how is the term public servant defined for the purposes of the Code of Conduct Bureau? Who is a public servant?
Okay, there is definition of the public servant in the Constitution. If you look at the Constitution, it lists all the people that are supposed to be public servant. But then, in essence, the simple definition of it is that once you get your salary or payment from government, when you earn government salary from government, then you are a public servant. So that is a simple definition of it. Okay. But if you look at the Constitution, you will see the list of people that are public servant, from the president, vice president, governors, House of Assembly members, local government officials, civil servants from the state, federal, and local levels. Everybody is a public servant.
It might be a limitation on my part, but I haven't noticed any reports of convictions as a result of the work of the Code of Conduct Bureau. What does that say? Is it that our public servants have been, quite virtuous, or what? It's like activity in this regard, because high standards of morality in government business. And by the time we get to the level of high standards of morality, it's bordering on the spiritual, on the religious, high standards of morality in government business. How difficult a concept is that for you to grapple with in terms of the normal behavior of human beings?
Okay, one good thing about the Code of Conduct is listed. So we have abuse of office is listed, we have conflict of interest is listed, we have corruption, bribery is listed. So all the codes that we expect public servants to uphold is there listed in the Constitution, in our Act. So it's easy for us, for example, if you are talking about abuse of office, first, are you a public servant? Yes, I'm a public servant. Then, are you using your office? Yes, I'm using my office. Are you abusing the right of another person? Yes, I'm abusing the right of another person. Are you doing it illegally? Yes, I'm doing it illegally. So again, we know that you're abusing your office. Conflict of interest. Are you putting your personal interests above the interests of the nation? Again, that is a definition of conflict of interest. Bribery. Are you collecting money to influence? Okay. Are you giving money or receiving money to influence your decision? So all those things are part of the code, and they're clearly listed in the Code of Conduct Act. And the Constitution. The other one that you mentioned about... Okay.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, because we have a caller on the line, so I don't want to lose him. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Okay, thank you for calling in.
Good morning to the CCB chairman.
Yes.
Uncle Yeri, I listened carefully to the chairman when he was enumerating the functions of CCB. And he said that they look at the assets that the public servant had prior to taking office, and after leaving office, they look at it again to see there are excesses, and that is what they base their investigations on and convictions. And I've been wondering, why is it that the Bureau has not been able to lay hands on a senior public official that we know have excess money after leaving office? Take, for example, the former Minister for Petroleum, the lady, Mrs. Eziani, if not for EFCC, we wouldn't have been able to know that amount of money that she was alleged to have embezzled. Look at the recent one of the former CPN governor, Emefiele. We wouldn't have known if EFCC did not come out to say that there are 750 duplexes linked to him with other assets like billions of dollars. If the CCB, which is the actual organization that is set up for that, how come they are not the ones taking these things? Is it that they just allow the civil servants or the government officials to flow when they come in and when they go out without anything? I want to advise the new chairman. Perhaps you are supposed to be the game changer. That's why they put you there. Understand you assumed duty just last October. It's the president we have now wants to work with game changers. And we are challenging you to live up to expectations. That organization, as far as I'm concerned, is permanent in terms of its functions. We want you to be the game changer. We want you to put some light and enforcement into the functions of that organization so that civil servants or government officials will sit up in our country. It's very important. I wish you strength. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. Okay, Dr. Bello.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate your kind words. And like you mentioned, we are going to do that. And this is the new CCB that we have. We are going to make sure that we are holding public servants accountable. But then again, previously too, let me just inform you some of the activities. Apart from doing it ourselves, we also support other law enforcement agencies. For example, the EFCC and the ICPC. The request for information from us, we do it together. Sometimes we do combined investigation. Sometimes they request information from us. So some of the successes of these organizations are also attributable in some part. I'm not saying everything, but at least in some part to our activities, because they will request information from us about declaration of public servants, and we give them that information. But that is not enough. I'm not saying it's enough. What we are trying to do, like I mentioned, we have already created a unit. We are going to be proactive ourselves. We are going to be looking at these declarations ourselves, and then we are going to be investigating them ourselves, and then we are going to be prosecuting them ourselves. One of the problems with CCB is before there was a lot of under-resourced. It's under-resourced organization.
Okay.
But I can tell you that this present organization, this present government has been supporting us, has increased our budgetary allocation, and they has given all the support that we need to do our work. So very soon we are going to start seeing the result of this support. So that's what I'm. But thank you very much for that and encouragement. I will make sure that we live out to expectation.
Okay, let's take another caller. Reverend Dominic in Alimosho. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yore. Okay. Good morning to Mr. Chairman.
Dr. Bello, yes.
Dr. Yes. Bello, let me start where Mr. George stopped, my friend. I want to ask him a question. Sometimes 2 years ago, I'm sure, there was an accountant general of Nigeria. They say it stole, I can't know the number now, but the money is over 100 billion. Where is Mr. Chairman when this man stole 100 billion of Nigerian money? If his work is as easy as he described it, we won't have crime in Nigeria if the work is as easy as he described it. Where is he when this man stole over 100 billion of Nigerian money? And number two, since 1999 to date, Mr. Chairman, do you mean that all our governors are this clean? And in Nigeria today, somebody said the other day, Chief Yore, that Nigeria are nations of sinners, nations of sin without sinners. Nigeria is a nation of...
Reverend Dominic, as you are aware, at the beginning, I congratulated him. He only came into office in October last year. I mentioned it. So,
yes,
but without prejudice, please continue.
Yes, government is a continuum. I'm not asking him about his office. Government is a continuum. The principle he's holding and what is defined as easy is also what the last chairman has done.
Yeah.
If you can hear me. Government is a continuum. I'm asking since 1999, from his office till now. I don't know when he started. How many convictions have we got from CCB? Because if CCB is up and doing, the work of EFCC, the work of the other anti-corruption agents is easy. I want to ask this question, just as a question, allegedly. We heard that the last governor of Kogi State paid $750,000 for his children to graduate in advance. How could it be possible for a governor of a state to put his hand in a state government and take $750,000 and pay a school?
All right, then. Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, calling from Alimosho. Dr. Bello, back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, thank you very much. I can understand the passion of Nigerians, and I can understand why people are passionate about that, because we all know that corruption is the major problem in this country. And what I will advise people to do is that now that we are here, and that's part of our duties, to enlighten people about the role and the responsibilities of the Bureau. So I expect people to report cases that they see clearly. Like I said, all these assets that we are talking about are in Nigeria. There is one of the states. So if you have any information or any intelligence that you have, there is a way that you can send it to us, and then we can do the investigation ourselves. Not to say that we are not going to do it ourselves, but it will help if we get support from other Nigerians as well. So all Nigerians, any information that you have that is going to be vital for our work, we want you to send it to us so that we can work on it. But I can assure you that we are going to do our work diligently. Like he mentioned, I started in October, though the government is a continuum, but that's what we are doing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, to tell people that we are ready to do our work, and then we need the support of the public, and we need the support of everybody. Because once we are able to tackle this menace of corruption, Nigeria is going to be better for it.
Well, you did sort of imply that this administration, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, is being very supportive and very helpful. You said that it has increased your budgetary allowance. Now, the silence from the CCB in the past, I'm just going to guess without knowing that it must have been, some of their constraints must have been a lack of budgetary, adequacy. When you say what you just said, that this government is really doing what it can to support, but in terms of percentage increase, is it that the budgetary allocation now, compared with past administrations, what is it like in the 100 to 200% increment that enables you to do what could not have been done then? Since I won't just imagine that, well, the past administrations of the CCB were being lazy. So what is it that made them, Mr. George, who called in first, I think he called it a dormant. He said he called it a dormant organization. That perception of dormancy and right now you are going to make a difference. You said so. That's why you were appointed, and you intend to, grab it with both hands. So tell me, what is it that will enable you to do a better job than people perceive the CCB has been doing, if they are not mistaken?
Okay, thank you very much. Like the support that we have, if I can tell you, is more than 400% increase in our budget allocation. So
more than 400% increment.
More than 400% increase, and that is the kind of support that the president has given us, and we are thankful for him. I wish to use this opportunity to thank him for that. But apart from that, we need staff to be able to do that. We have offices all over the federation. We have 36 offices, including Abuja, but the number of staff that we have is inadequate for us to do that. So again, we are trying to find out how we are going to get that. But we are not going to just say because of the challenges we are not going to do our work. Even if you can have, like the other caller is saying, if you can have 3 or 4 or 5 solid cases of huge corruption in Nigeria, we can make a lot of difference, and we can do it with the current staff that we have. But if you have more, you'll be able to do more. So that is the support that we have been getting from this government, and I can assure you that very soon you'll start to see the result of what we are doing. We have started already. We have started looking at government officials. We have started looking at public servants, elected officials. So we are going to see results as very soon.
Okay. Samson has called in from Anambra State. Good morning, Samson. Okay, we just lost Samson. But going back to one of the callers, I think it was Reverend Dominic, perhaps, he mentioned some names that are out there in the public that are, confronting allegations. He mentioned Diezani Malisin Madueke. He mentioned the former governor of the central bank. Are these embarrassing situations to you, given that what you are created to work at are these kind of things? I accept that you just came in October last year, but government is a continuum, as you have also said. What is the problem? George at the top said that if not for the EFCC, we would not have known of all of this, because we're just trying to find out if the CCB actually has any teeth at all to do its job. Okay,
I think I mentioned it earlier that our work previously is we're trying to collaborate with the law enforcement agencies. We provide a lot of information for them. So we work in the background. So, but with this common administration, what we are trying to do is want to go and do it proactively ourselves. I was, maybe you might not know, I was a staff of the FCC before, a pioneer staff of the FCC. I joined the FCC in 2004.
Okay.
And around 2007, there was a task force that was formed to do investigation, high-profile investigation. I was part of the task force. And CCB and EFCC were working together. CCB provide information for EFCC, and EFCC will go about to prosecute the cases. So that is the kind of relationship that we have. Right now, we are also liaising with, we are also cooperating with ICPC. Again, we provide information for them, and then they will use that to do their activities, even though they will go and do much more. We are just giving part of it. So I have to say that so that I don't say that we are responsible for all their successes. Okay. But right now, what we are trying to do is that we want to be proactive ourselves. Apart from providing the information, we are also going to do our work to make sure that we are investigating, we are prosecuting the cases ourselves.
Okay, John in Abuja is standing by. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Sorry, I want to ask a question. These people, are they know our military? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, John.
Yes, our military, are they above to be checked? Do you realize the corruption in this country based on the military? Because the generals, in fact, they have the right to check them. They are serving the country. They are not God. We are all serving the country. Even you, your name please, the doctor, or you are serving the country. So you should declare your asset also. So we should know you very well. This time we're not taking it from anybody.
All right.
Everybody declare their assets.
Thank you.
Our military, most especially our military, they are the main big corruption in the country. They are sitting it down. If you could get them right, you'll get the country. I believe you will. And I pray you to do it. I God to allow you to do it. That's what I have to say.
Okay, then.
That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much, John, in Abuja. Again, you must have missed it. I did introduce Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello as the Code of Conduct Chair. But go ahead, Dr. Bello. Did you want to comment on that?
Okay, thank you very much for that. The military, they are also public servants. And the type of people that are also under our responsibility to make sure that they are declaring their asset and they are obeying other codes of conduct. So it doesn't exempt military, it doesn't exempt the police, it doesn't exempt all security agencies. Once you are a public servant, then you are under the responsibility of code of conduct to make sure that you are adhering to the highest standard of ethics.
Okay.
And as for me, like you mentioned, when I joined the Bureau in October, that was the first thing I did. I declared my asset. And I also I asked the people in charge to go and verify my assets. So it's not only about trying to have others to do it. You have to do it yourself. So I declared my asset, and then I asked the people in charge to go and verify it. And we went and verified all the assets that I have. And that's what I expect of all public servants. So again, there is something I want to mention very important about verification. Because there is a lot of complaints. Sometimes people think that verification is investigation. Verification is not investigation. There are two separate things. You said you have a house in Abuja. We're just trying to verify that you have the house. So we are not investigating you. So what I will tell public servant now is that if you receive any letter from CCB or any request from CCB that want to verify your asset, know that we are not investigating you at all. We are just trying to verify what you said you have. So investigation will only come, like I said, on 3 occasions. The first is if we receive a petition against you. The second is if there is intelligence against you. And third, at the end of your tenure, when you compared your asset declaration at the beginning and at the end, and we found out that there is excess that you can now account for from your known sources. That is only when you investigate. But if CCB asks you now for verification, please know that we are not investigating you at all. So that is one thing that I want to mention, so that it will be clear.
All right, thank you very much. So Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello is our guest. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back. Questions appear to be coming, and indeed, the doctor is here, ready to provide answers to our questions. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solutions.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Okay, welcome back. And while we were away, a call came in from Cash in the UK. Good morning, Cash.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning, Tigwes.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Regarding CCTV, yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Grace.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to let's get know that CCTV is an electronic system that normally records past records of past events of about more than 15 years before you be in the office or after. So is it possible?
What are you talking about? Are you talking? What are you talking about?
10 years after before you be in the office.
What are you talking about? Did you say CCTV?
An electronic system that normally records
closed circuit television. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about closed circuit television?
I'm talking about the CCTV functions.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
CCTV.
Closed circuit television.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure that particular viewer got the gist of our conversation because he was talking about closed circuit television. Is why I had to be sure that I heard right. And he alleging that closed circuit television can show you records from 15 years back. And so I'm not too sure that I understood the question. Did you have any better luck, Dr. Abello, before we go on to another caller?
Better, sorry?
Did you have any better luck understanding the question? I didn't quite.
No. It was not clear to me too because I had CCTV or something like that. So
yeah, CCTV sure is closed circuit. That's why I wanted to be sure from him that does CCTV mean closed circuit television, and I wanted to find the relevance of that. But okay, at least he brought up the matter of technology, and I'm sure technology will be working. You'll be taking advantage of technology and all of that, but. You said the job is you said your job is easy as a matter of fact, and because that was contrary to what I and perhaps some other people felt, because people will be dealing in double standards, they'll be getting up to all sorts of trickery, and you have said that no, that's not a problem. How did the quote-unquote the Emefiele allegation, all the buildings that we saw, the Alison Madueke situation, all the allegations, all of these, emphasizing the word allegations. How did those come into being before you told us about it? You haven't even told us about it, as a matter of fact. It's been EFCC.
Okay. So like I said, let me just talk about the digital part of it that you mentioned.
Okay.
So this is the right point for me to talk about that. Right now we have online asset declaration. So before we used to have manual system, but still we have manual system. But then we have online asset declaration now that we want to roll out all over the country. And that will change a lot of things. So people don't have to go and collect forms manually and start filling them. So now you just go at the comfort of your own home, you fill the form, you upload the documents, and then it's going to be secured. We make sure that it's secured, and then we'll be able to analyze it. So that is one of the things that we are going to do. We have already started with a test run of some MDAs, and then very soon we are going to expand it to cover all ministries, departments, states, and local governments. So that's about that, and we are making sure it's very easy, for example, to analyze information if it is online rather than it's manual. If it's manual, the difficulty, everybody knows about analyzing manual documents. But for electronic documents, it's very easy for us to do that. And the case that you mentioned about EFCC and Emefiele and Dezeni, again, CCB in the background is doing a lot. So we are providing the information that the integration agencies are using to do their cases. And right now, what we are trying to do is that we are also going to be doing it ourselves. So we have already started. We are looking at high-profile cases. What we are going to do is that we are going to look at the low-hanging fruits. We are going to look at high-risk individuals. We are going to look at high-value, high-volume cases, so that at least we do our investigation thoroughly. Because in investigation, sometimes it doesn't matter if you are investigating 10 million and if you are investigating 100 million or 10 billion. The process is the same. So it's better for you to look at cases that have high impact, so that you will be able to do it because it's all the process is the same. So that's what we are doing. I don't want to go into specific, but we have started with high-profile cases. Very soon you are going to hear what we are doing. These cases that have gone past, we don't want to go back and then try discussing them. But going forward, if you as a citizen of Nigeria, you have any allegation, any information, please send it to us. Okay. And then we are going to do our best to investigate it. And that's what we are going to do as going forward.
Have you, what would you say about the conviction rate secured by the Code of Conduct Bureau? Is there indeed any such thing? Have you actually successfully, prosecuted and obtained convictions on anyone?
Maybe let me just mention one case that happened before. The former Chief Justice of Nigeria, I don't know if people have forgotten about it, is a case of the CCB. So I don't want to go into details of it. Okay. So it's solely a case of CCB and so many other things that have the high-level politicians that were brought to the CCB, even though some of them were not successful, but then it shows that CCB can work and then can try high-profile cases. So going forward, we are also going to look at those cases that comes now. And then this is the opportunity we have. We have a lot of people that have already finished their term. So it's easy for us now to look at their declaration at the end of the time so that we compare it. We are going to see a lot of activities going forward.
Okay. Uche, good morning to you. Sorry for keeping you waiting, sir. Uche has called from Nnewi.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, good morning, the chairman.
Yes, Dr. Bello.
Yeah, Uncle Yori, I want to go into this. Recently we had an issue between the senior president and Natasha. And for me, in my own view, I think the reason why this issue escalated is because of the way the senior president handled the matter. For instance, when they were telling the woman to go to the other seat, for me, if I were to be the senior president, I was thinking that he should have allowed the woman to finish talking. Then you rule her out of order. Because that one has happened before, even with the Saraki and that same senior president now.
Okay.
After you must have finished talking,
I beg your pardon for interrupting you. I beg your pardon. Uche, I beg your pardon for interrupting you, but the Code of Conduct Bureau concerns itself with high standards of morality, ethical standards, not excluding asset declarations. But do you think, sir, that this is indeed a case for the attention of the Code of Conduct Bureau?
Okay, I don't want to go into details of it because it's still out there.
It's live
what
out
I
there.
say is that any abuse of office, any abuse of office is our responsibility as Code of Conduct. So what do you mean by abuse of office? You are a public servant. You are using your office to victimize or to go against the right of another person, and then you are doing it unlawfully. So once those 3 or 4 conditions are available, then you can take it to CCB and then we can investigate it. So it doesn't matter, once you are a public servant, it doesn't matter who the public servant is. Once you are abusing your office, you can take that to Code of Conduct Bureau and then we investigate it and then we take it to CCT. Well, I'm not going to go into details of the information because at this point we are trying to see the kind of cases that we have and then we investigate it further.
Okay. The other thing, you spoke about one of the ways in which you work is that you declare your assets before, at the commencement of an appointment in the public sector, and at the expiration of your tenure, you then compare the situation then as opposed to when he first of all came in. Have you been doing that? Because just look at the volume of people that have come and have left. Has that been happening, or has the limitation in staff hampered that? Because I'm just trying to imagine, people must be in their thousands who have completed their terms. Is it, do you just automatically go back and compare, verify, or must there be a flag somewhere for you to move into it? Because I imagine you have to also manage your time judiciously.
So what I told you earlier about a new unit in CCB called Forensic Investigation, Financial Investigation and Forensic Accounting, that's one of the major jobs that they are going to be doing. So they are going to compare the asset declaration, but we are going to do it based on risk-based approach. We are not going to do everything because we don't have staff to do everything. So we are going to select high-risk individuals that we think that there are tendency for them to be corrupt. For example, once we do that and we assess and then we see clearly from the information that we have, there is a huge spike in their assets, then those are the ones that we're going to go after. Okay. People that have gone out of office, people that are in revenue generating agencies, high public officials. So we are going to do it, but we are not going to do for everybody at this point because we don't have resources to do it. But once we've done our analysis and we found out there is a huge increase that cannot reasonably be explained, even from the look of it, then we are going to go after those cases.
Okay. Kene in Abuja, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Yes. Good morning. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. The gentleman in the studio, my morning greetings to him.
Okay, Dr. Bello.
I want to put it clear here that this office, CCB, it's one good office in this country, but I want to just state it very clear here that the office is completely invisible to Nigerians. And of course, many Nigerians doesn't know what CCB is all about. I think the publicity or the information given out to this office is completely out of the line. I can tell you that a very good percentage of Nigerians doesn't understand what CCB stands in this country.
Sorry to interrupt you. I must interrupt you. When you say the information being given out is out of line, I don't quite understand what you mean.
Okay, what I mean is that a lot of people have no idea about what this office stands in this country.
Okay, they don't know.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
It's a responsibility. I will call on this office right now. Let them work together in line with the National Orientation Agency in trying to create an awareness to Nigerians. Let Nigerians understand exactly what this office stands, in Nigerian states.
All right.
And of course, a lot of people, as they don't have no knowledge about it, they said knowledge is power. When you have no knowledge about a particular issue or a particular thing, you misbehave.
All right.
A lot of things that are going wrong in this country is because most people doesn't know that whatever they do, even going out of line, they don't even know that, yes, they're really going out of line. But when this is being issued, let's take it as it's a national anthem, kind of. Every office or every employee in this country knows exactly what he's supposed to hold on. I don't think a lot of people will not misbehave the way the country is going.
All right.
So I challenge whoever is in the office. I know the gentleman is listening to me. Very handsome young man. I know he would do something about this. Take this message to Mr. President or whoever it is there, to work on. Try as much as possible, work in line with, work together with the National Orientation Agency and let them pass this message across each and every office from federal, state, and local government. Let people understand what CCB stands for.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your call, Kenneth, but I should just mention in passing that there's a website of the Code of Conduct Bureau where everything that you might want to know about it is there. You might need clarification, but everything is out there in the Public Code of Conduct Bureau website. But I hope I didn't get ahead of myself, Dr. Bello.
Oh, no, thank you very much. I really appreciate the caller, and that's what we are doing. And that's why I'm here to enlighten the public about the role of the Code of Conduct. And like he mentioned, we are going to partner with other organizations to make sure that we are telling people what Code of Conduct is all about, our functions, our responsibilities. Earlier, I met the head of service, and then they are showing support because we deal with public servants not only in the federal government, but also in states. So we are trying to reach out to state head of service to tell them about our functions and our duties so that public servants are aware of it. What is missing sometimes is that even though I don't think a lot of public servants will say that they don't know what Code of Conduct is all about, but it's the public that may not be aware of what the Code of Conduct. But because all public servants, they should be aware of Code of Conduct because it's part of their responsibilities for them to complete the form. What we are doing now is that we are trying to make sure that the public too is aware of our role. Because one of the key things that the public can do for us, like I mentioned earlier, is for them to give us information about those public servants. You live with them, you know their position before they come into power, and you know their position now. So therefore, we are thinking of developing a portal where people can go and then report cases of code of conduct, breach of code of conduct, so that we'll be able to get it directly from our own offices, and then we'll be able to investigate it. And that's why the civil society organizations, the media, the private sector organizations, and that's why we are trying to enlighten people of that role. And since I came into office, what I did the first time I came into office, the first 3 months, I tried to understand the system, went around all the zones of the country, met all the state directors personally. I met them. We spent around 45 minutes trying to understand the problem, trying to understand the challenges. And then after understanding the whole process, now we are now in the position where we can project our vision. Our vision is to ensure that public servants are adhering to the highest standard of ethics. That's our goal. That is our vision. And we do it through online asset declaration and manual asset declaration. We do it through investigating breach of code of conduct. We do it through public enlightenment. And then we do it through prosecution at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. So that is, in essence, the vision I have. I want CCB to be the foremost law enforcement agency in Nigeria dealing with public servants. And I can tell you, like many people have said, CCB is the missing link in the fight against corruption. Once CCB is working properly, and I can assure you that we have all the support that we have from the President and this government, and with the staff that we have, with the training that we are going to do, with the support of the public, we are going to deliver on our objectives and our goals. But let me use this opportunity again to remind public servants of their duties. It's not enough. If before there is any doubt, now there should be no doubt that CCB is a law enforcement agency. We enforce the law, we prosecute, and then the punishment for a breach of code of conduct are very severe. Let me mention the key, what we call in CCB triangle. There are 3 main punishments for the breach of code of conduct. We have, you can be banned up to 10 years from public office. You can be removed from office, and then we can seize and forfeit your asset to federal government. So those are the key punishment of code of conduct. Like I mentioned, if you have not declared your asset, then we can cause investigation into you. And once we cause investigation into you, there is another thing that I want to emphasize, is that you explain or you forfeit. Explain whether that money is from legal source. If you can't, then we forfeit it to federal government. So that is the message I want to tell people. It's not enough. Even not declaration of asset is a breach on its own. So if you have not been declaring your asset, now is the right time for you to do that, because we can take you to CCT for that alone, not declaring your asset. So that's one of the final messages I want to say, so that at least people are aware of where we come from.
Thank you. And very, very briefly, when you talk about if you've not addressing public servants, if you've not declared your assets, I mean, is it for them to, out of the goodness or their sense of responsibility, do so, or they always are tapped by the Code of Conduct Bureau that we look at our records and we don't see your declaration of assets? Why? So the responsibility for declaring an asset is on you as a public servant. It's there in the Constitution. You are the one that is going to come and declare your asset. But what we do, we reach out to your institutions, and then we collect information about their personnel, and then we send the forms to these organizations, and then they distribute it to their staff. But then in the Constitution, clearly it says that it's the responsibility of a public servant to declare his asset. It's not the responsibility of CCB to come and ask you to declare, even though we do that because we don't want people to say, I don't know about it. Yes. But it's your own responsibility for you to declare. So that is one of the key things that I want to emphasize. It's your own responsibility to declare. But what we do is that we go to organizations, we give them forms, we collect their payroll, we collect their personnel information, and then we give them the forms, and then they will distribute it to their staff. So that's how we work. Okay, well, we don't have any more time left, but I want to thank you, Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello, and wish you all the best in your tour of duty at the Code of Conduct Bureau. Indeed, we wish you much success.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really grateful for this.
All right, then. Okay, so we're going to have to leave it there for now. Thank you very much once again. That's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
taking you through as it happened.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting,
with investigations that matter.
bringing in news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment, and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every night.
For over 6 decades, the Bank of Industry, BOI, has been driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services.
Bank of Industry is one organization that has kept their words with the Nigerian businesses.
I have been able to expand my business from catering, event management, into water production.
A single digit that Bank of Industry offers is the only solution to stay afloat.
BOI Impact, now showing Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. on TVC News.
Stay ahead with the biggest news stories. Go beyond the news headlines. Experience impactful investigations. Enjoy resourceful news coverage in real time. TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. Live every day on this channel. TVC News. First with breaking news.
Thank you for joining us on TVC Midday News. I am Abosadi Adeniwaderemi. We start off in Rivers State, where an explosion has affected a section of the Trans-Niger pipeline in the Bodo community, that's in Gukana local government area. Reports say the explosion occurred late last night near the Bodo Boni Road, which is under construction. The police in Rivers State have confirmed the fire incident, which occurred at the Trans-Niger Delta pipeline operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company. The police in a statement said security operatives cited the incident during a routine night patrol at the facility, which is located at the border of Bo and Bodo communities in Gokana local government area of Rivers State. According to the statement, the company initiated safety protocols, including shutting down the affected pipeline in order to contain the blaze and bring the situation under control. The police says 2 persons have been arrested for questioning as part of ongoing investigation to determine the cause of the fire. Videos from the site this morning showed flames raging through the area, raising concerns about potential environmental damage and disruption to oil transportation. The Trans-Niger Pipeline, which is a critical federal oil transport infrastructure, supplies crude to the Bonny Export Terminal in Rivers State. When contacted, the Rivers State Police Public Relations Officer, Grace Iringe Koko, stated that she would investigate the situation and provide updates. President General of the Ogoni Youth Federation, Legbosi Yamabana, joins me on the Midday News for more updates on this incident. Good to have you join us at this time. What is the latest on this explosion? Is the fire out or is it still raging?
Thank you for having me. Currently, the fire has been put off. It just like the news broke out to everybody. That is how we at the leadership of Ogoni Youth also received it. And we are very saddened, we are deeply saddened by these acts, even though we have launched a full-scale investigation into the remote and immediate cause of that. We want to first of all condemn it and to say that not at this time that federal government is making efforts towards coming back into Ogoni land for the purpose of oil and gas exploration. We shouldn't be despoiling our environment at this time, because the truth is that a cup of oil that spilled on our land have far-reaching effects on the lives and the health of our people. And our people must continue to understand this at all times. That is why we, at the leadership of Ogoni Youth, we have severally organized symposiums and workshops to educate our youth about the dangers embedded in all of these acts of sabotage.
Mr. Yabana,
the other day, about a week ago.
Yes, Mr. Yamabana,
yes.
Based on what you're saying, just to be clear, are you suggesting that this was an act of sabotage carried out by indigents to simply destroy these facilities and frustrate, efforts to improve oil exploration in that area?
Like I said, preliminary investigation that we have done reveals that that's an act of sabotage. Because I have pictures and you could see that the place was dug and, set ablaze. So it's clearly an act of sabotage. But a joint investigation visit to the site will further reveal what actually transpired. But I'm giving you the angle from the leadership of Ogoni Youth. That is our observation thus far. And we are ready to partner with security agencies to fish out the perpetrators of these dastardly acts. We do not want any further environmental degradation in Ogoni. We are already living with it. We are tired. Federal government yet is making efforts to clean up the land. So we do not need all of this because our livelihood is gone. Our ecosystem is gone. Our farmland is polluted. So we do not need more pollution. What we need is to support the government in remediating Ogoni land so that we can go in for full oil and gas exploration activities, for the economic activities of the place to bounce back, because we are suffering too much in Ogoni in the midst of stupendous oil and gas wealth. And that is because for over 32 years, the oil in Ogoni has been locked in. And it is about time we tap from that natural resources to better our lot.
All right. Now, the police said they've arrested 2 persons in connection with this crime. With this incident, and they are actually investigating them. How supportive are you of this move? What is the level of cooperation between your team and the security agencies, and what are your expectations?
Like I said, we are ready to use our platform, make our platform ready to partner with security agencies to ensure that the perpetrators of this heinous act is brought to book, because that has to happen to serve as deterrent to others. I also got intelligence that some days ago, an incident like this also happened somewhere in Alo, in Rivers State. So I do not actually know what is going on, but it is about time we nip all of this in the bud.
President General of the Ogoni Youth Federation, Legbosi Yamabana, thank you very much for your time on TVC Midday News.
Thank you for having me.
We're still in Rivers State, where the political situation has now taken a new turn as the House of Assembly issued a notice of gross misconduct against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu. This latest move is perceived as a significant step in the speculated efforts by aggrieved lawmakers to initiate impeachment proceedings against the governor.